Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video here on this channel. I think my computer is standing on its last leg because it just took me 45 minutes to get my setup to work. But in today's video, we are diving into a couple of productivity news that I haven't been able to cover yet. So they aren't news at this point, or maybe they are, but we are covering Obsidian with Obsidian bases, which I wanted to do a dedicated video on, but I can see that I won't have the time for that. So we will do this in the productivity news video and go deeply into what Obsidian Bases is. We will cover the Todoist update, which I also haven't covered, which is an Outlook integration, and AI text to voice from Evernote. Not voice to text, but text to voice. So let's just start off with Obsidian. So Obsidian has a new insider feature, or it isn't called insider, it is early access. So you can actually pay to get early access and support the team. You must be a Catalyst member, that's what they call it. And you need to install the early access version. I think I've mentioned Obsidian bases before, but basically previously there has been ways to use Obsidian and get databases with a plugin, community plugin called DataView, which was quite good. I've tested the DataView plugin. It had a little bit of a learning curve to it. It took me a little time to understand how the DataView worked. That was the first thing. The second thing was that uh, not something I've experienced, but I've heard from people who have used this with a lot of notes, is that Obsidian gets a little bloated. And at this point, it feels like more and more applications are adding some like database functionality. So this is the database functionality inside of Obsidian. It is called Bases, and it is a core plugin, so a plugin developed by the team as a part of this. As a part of the Obsidian experience. Another core plugin you might know of is the canvases inside of Obsidian, which are basically whiteboarding tools or a whiteboarding tool inside of Obsidian. So that's basically what a core plugin is and an example of it. So here you have another one, and I think this is a reading list. I've seen so many really cool use cases for Obsidian bases. It has properties, it has filters, and there are still a lot of things that need to be fixed and improved. So Basis API for plugins to add more power through custom functions and new view types, more view types beyond tables, lists, cards, etc. Grouping files and aggregation functions, so sum, average, things like that, and Obsidian publish support. So they are basically going for full-on databases inside of here. I think like databases in Obsidian is a little interesting. I am going to do a whole podcast episode around databases because I think more and more applications, even applications who talked about never actually having databases, are adding them. I see many of the new applications who add databases, they actually or many of the new applications that come out, they add databases because that seems to be something most people want. Like Craft now has databases. I tried By Design, which is an all-in-one application that comes with databases. Obsidian is now adding databases. Coda and Notion has always have had databases. So we are getting a lot of like database functionality inside of these applications, and I think that is something people really like, and I think it is extremely cool in an application like Obsidian, where you have like a graph view and a way to just see how everything is connected and sort of have a unstructured view of your notes. And now you're also getting this more structured database view. I think that is super interesting. So I think this is the most exciting update I've seen from or in the note-taking space for a long time. It shows that Obsidian and we already knew it, but it again shows that Obsidian is here to stay and is going to stay and going to improve and become better going forward. So something I'm really, really excited about. I am not a Catalyst member myself, so I haven't been able to really test this out. Obsidian hasn't been an application that has really worked for me, so I haven't been able to test this out, but it looks super interesting, and there are a lot of great videos out there. So that is the first one, that is Bases. Next up, we have Outlook integration. So this was actually 4 days ago from me filming this. So today is June 9th. This is June 5th. Todoist now integrates seamlessly with Outlook Calendar. I know that a lot of people in like a work environment, they use Outlook Calendar. Almost all enterprises use Outlook. So if you have if you have wanted to have your work calendar inside of Todoist, that hasn't been easy to do. There has been workarounds. I know that a lot of other applications, they have workarounds for this, but now you actually have Outlook calendar integration. So you just have to head to settings, calendars, and connect your Outlook calendar. Once connected, your calendar events will appear in today and upcoming within seconds. And you can enable sync tasks to calendar to see your scheduled Todoist tasks inside of Outlook too. So this has been available for Google Calendar, and I have used it a lot when I've used Todoist. So you can basically choose whether you want a one-way sync, so things from your calendar syncs to your Todoist, or a two-way sync where you can also have your tasks go into your calendar. I've always had the two-way sync. That way, like, I can block off time on my calendar. So this is something I've really liked, one of my favorite features in Todoist, and you can see right here that it makes it easier to do time blocking. That is like the main point of something like this. And I have I haven't seen many applications implement Outlook or actually it is called Outlook Calendar, Outlook Calendar integrations. That has been something a lot of applications either do not do, or they have a workaround for, or they come really, really late. So I am happy to see that Todoist, an application that has been around for a long time, finally has Outlook Calendar, a good Outlook Calendar integration. Last up, we have AI text to voice. So you may have heard of AI voice to text, where you can just speak out your notes and you get your voice transcribed into a note. This is the other way around. I haven't really tested this out, but basically you can write something and then generate an audio from it, and you have different different voices here and different tones. And you can have a story, a podcast, and you can turn your text, just basic text, to hear it out loud. So when I first wrote this down into my project manager to like do a video on Evernote text to voice, I thought it was voice to text updates, because I haven't seen note-taking applications do AI text to voice. I think text to voice is super interesting. If you, for example, write a long article, one of the things I like the least is to sit and read through my article. I really like hearing it out loud, so that is one use case for it. The same goes for like writing something like a book, or just writing in general. Sometimes it is great to just hear it spoken out loud. So that is one use case for it. Apart from that, like, I don't have many use cases for something like this, but I think it is interesting, and it is something that a lot of other applications do not have. Another one is like adding, I think you can add a PDF in here and it will listen or read that PDF for you. Or let's say you had a Word report, you could actually upload or copy paste that report. So some interesting use cases here. My guess is that there is a limit to how long a document or your text can be, but it is a little similar to what Google LM with their podcast actually offer. That's what the podcast feature here is for. Like you can have a podcast be created for you. They currently only support a single voice in podcast mode, but they're working on adding more. So basically, really similar to what Notebook LM offers, and I think this could be super interesting in the future if it becomes a part of the core Evernote experience, because Google LM is great, but you actually have to move a lot of stuff from Evernote to Notebook LM if you're an Evernote user. Having that inside of your Evernote experience can make it much easier, but it is hard to say where this one is going, but I find it super interesting though. That covers actually all of the news I have for this week. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will try to get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching today's episode.